Welcome, dear students. We are moving to the third category of public sector enterprise in this video, that is government companies. So, government company is another form of public sector enterprise. It's very easy to learn. If the company is managed by government, then it is termed as government company. Or we can say the 51 percentage of total capital is in the hands of government company, then it is known as government. If a company in which not less than 51 percentage of share is held by the central government or any state government or partially by the central and state government, then it is known as government company. So remember the percentage, 51 percentage of the total share capital. If it is in the hands of government, then it is government company. So what are the different features of government company? It is formed by registration under Companies Act. So now 2013, Companies Act of 2013 is following. So as per the provisions of that act, the company is registered and formed. The whole or major part of the shares will be in the hands of government. Rest may be in the hands of private party, but 51 percentage. Sometimes the whole share will be in the hands of government. Sometimes the government company or the public company will issue shares to the private party or the public for collecting funds. So there will be private parties also in the sharing of capital. And it have its own memorandum and articles of association. Already we have learned in the formation of company what is memorandum of association and articles of association. Government company have their own memorandum of association and articles of association in order to control the whole organization. And it is a body corporate with a separate legal existence. So the members, the shareholders and the company are two different entities, two separate entities. Then directors appointed by the government alone or jointly by the government. Directors, board of directors who is controlling the organization will be appointed by the government. Then employees appointed by the directors of the employees in the organization will be appointed by the directors of the board. Then free from the government company is free from budgeting, accounting and auditing. They have to maintain all these, but they are free from the government. They can manage all these things as per their own rules and regulations, bylaws. So these are all the characteristics. And what are the advantages of these type of government companies? It allows public participation in share capital. If I want to take a share of a public company, I can also participate by giving the funds. It is very easy to form and register. They have to maintain, they have to prepare the important documents, they have to submit in front of the registrar. And more flexibility in operation there is there. More flexibility in operations, then they have their own freedom to manage and do all the activities. And they are getting maximum credit facility from the government itself and from private parties also. Then there is competition and profit motive on business lines. Lot of competition between private and government companies, and they are working with the maximum profit earning model. Then less government control is another advantage of this type of organization. Majority of the directors are appointed by the government. Then little political interference will be there in government companies. So these are all the advantages of government company. Read again and again and develop your mental image, mind maps regarding the process. And few disadvantages are there. As we told, there is political interference. Sometimes it will be high in the case of government company. And decisions are taken only as per the government wishes. That is another negative or limitation. And there is no active involvement of directors and staff. Why? Because they are not getting any amount of salary. So they will show only little interest in the growth of these type of organization. And in reality, there is no autonomy for maybe in the future it is that they have autonomy or flexibility in operation, but in reality, real life situation, it is not happening there. And no effective government control on financial matters. There is no effective control from the government authorities in the use of fund given in budgets for these type of government companies. So these are the some disadvantages of government companies. So remember, government company, a company is said to be government company when the 51% of the share capital is in the hands of that particular company is in the hands of government. Then it is known as government company. Some important government companies in India: the Hindustan Machine Tools Limited, the Hindustan Steel Limited, Indian Telephone Industrial Limited, the State Trading Corporation, the Hindustan Shipyard Limited, the Indian Oil Corporation, Fertilizers and Chemicals Limited, Bharat Electronics Limited, Ashok Hotels Limited, Madras Refineries Limited. Lots of examples are there. Please go through the different online platforms and find more examples for government companies. Next, we have to discuss about. So these are the three types of public sector organizations: departmental undertakings, statutory corporation, and government. Then we have to discuss more about what is the role of public sector in India, how it is changing. So whether they are taking more or private parties are taking more, that we are going to discuss. So the main contribution of public sector enterprises to Indian economy are: the first one is filling gaps in the industrial sector. They are helping, public sector enterprises are helping for filling the gaps in the industrial sector. They are helping for bringing more and more industrial industries, maybe small scale or large scale industries, and also helps for the employment generation, developing more, creating more employment opportunities. And these type of organizations helps for the balance the regional development of each sector in the country, and improving the balance of payment position, getting more payment than salary, etc. for the workers. Then prompting and protecting the small scale enterprises and ancillary industries. Maybe these type of organizations are helping the traditional forms of business industries in India. It helps in facilitating research and development and community development. Main aim of public sector is protecting the society. So community development is another main motto. Then it is ensuring equitable distribution of wealth and reducing economic disparities. Always public sector enterprises has to avoid the difference, maybe due to the concentration of money in one's hand. So they helps to reduce the economic disparity also. They are facing so many shortcomings. Public sector enterprises are facing so many shortcomings. They have their own limitation also. Maybe like poor project planning. Poor project planning means their project, each industry's project planning will be not much best according as per, maybe when we are comparing with the private sector enterprises, it will be of low standard. Then overcapitalization, maybe fund is flowing more, but it is not utilized effectively. Then excessive overheads, we have to obey, maybe uneducated or any other people who is controlling from the top level. And overstaffing, more workers are there, but they are not working. Paying salary means operating expense is increasing, but production is not running, and not profit also through sales. Underutilization of available capacity. Lot of workers and measures are there, but they are not effectively utilized. And the price policy improper. It is improper. It is not as per the quality of the product. And inefficient management. The top level authorities will be of not having good quality. So a lot of shortcomings are there in the case of public sector enterprises. And also the poor industrial relation. the government sector or the public sector have poor industrial relations. That means they are not keeping interest to keep a relationship with other industries in our locality. So there will be a lot of limitations like that. Then again, lack of coordination among various functional activities. In a single industry also, there will be no coordination between the activities of different departments. And what they are getting as a return, the profit of these type of organization is also very low. That is another short term or the demerit. And the growth of these type of organization also very slow. Why? Because the planning will be very poor and the overcapitalization, excessive overheads, all these things. Due to all these things, the growth of these type of organization also is very slow. So these are the shortcomings of these public sector enterprises, especially in India. And the government is taking some measures to overcome these type of public sector organizations. What are they? We have to know the government measures to protecting public sector enterprises. How they are trying to protect the public sector enterprises in India. First one is restricting the role of public sector. Restricting the role of public sector. Lot of organizations are there. That is why they are not able to control. So now they've taken the decision, no more public sector enterprises. They want to control only the present remaining organizations. So restricting the role of public sector and providing more opportunity to the public sector. One measure. And next one is essential infrastructure of goods and services. And every organization, every public sector, they want to develop the infrastructural facilities. They want to bring more innovative ideas and technologies in the organization. Also, the exploration of oil and mineral resources. They are giving more concentration for that type of resources. And in the case of technology also, technology development in areas which require long-term investment and where private sector is hesitant to operate. That type of where technology is needed and where requires long-term investment, huge amount of investment, they want to give more concentration on that areas, especially where the private organizations are not interested to invest. And manufacture of strategic such as defense equipment. Now government is giving more importance for producing defense equipments in India. Instead of collecting from foreigners, they started to create that type of items in India. And also strengthening the enterprise through memorandum of understanding. So strengthening these type of organization, memorandum of understanding means making contracts, agreements with other parties and strengthening these type of enterprises. So these are the measures taken by the government for the upliftment of public sector enterprises. So in the title of the chapter, private sector is there, public sector is there, and global enterprises are there. Already we learned what are the different private companies. The different forms of organization we learned in the chapter, forms of business enterprise that constitute private companies. The companies which are owned by private parties, or if the 51 percentage of share is vested in the hands of a private party, that company, and the remaining is in the hands of government, means 49 percentage is in the hands of government. So that company can be said to be a private company. And it will be controlled by an individual or an organization. So most probably it will be in the form of sole proprietorship, partnership, cooperative organizations and companies. Whatever it may be, the ownership is in the hand of a private party, then it is known as private company. So lots of examples are there for private companies. Just go through the images, collect more ideas regarding private companies. So these are the concepts regarding the private sector and the public sector. So remember, we learned in this lesson about the concept of government company, then there are changing role of public sector in India, and what are the different measures taken by the government for the upliftment of private public sector in India, and a small concept regarding what is private company, that is already we have done in the previous chapter. So thank you for watching my video. Next lesson we are going to learn about the global enterprises and joint ventures. So thank you for watching the video. Keep developing your own concept by watching all these videos again and again, and also by reading the concept from different web pages. Okay, thank you.